Hey guys, welcome to the Game of Thrones Regionals 2013 Top 4. I'm Steven.
I am Robert.
And we're going to be guiding you through this game. We're kind of underway, so we're just going to get right to it here. We have two Targaryen Long Voyage Dragons decks. Now, Rick Harrelson is on the left here, Matt Phillips on the right. This is Rick's original design. He kind of brought the deck into the focus of our group here in Tulsa. And it was a week or two before regionals, and Matt asked if he could play it and put his spin on it, which Rick was like, sure, of course. So
and then this happened.
It just so happens that they meet in, it's the top 8. They meet in the top 8 here.
Yes.
And Rick and Matt going at it. So kind of a fateful meeting. It's a shame that we didn't actually have them on different ends of the bracket, but they ended up on 4 and 5. I would have liked to see if the TLV Dragons would have actually met in the finals if they had the opportunity.
That would just be crazy.
Men of Pride by Matt on the right, and At the Gates by Rick at the left. That usually means you got Dragon Lore, and you can see the setups here. I'll do my best to keep up with this, but you know some of those cards just kind of hard to see.
And all these free city names.
I
just
just
can't
see
keep
over
up.
there on Rick's side, we've got the tourney grounds over on Matt's, as well as a street and the fiefdoms.
Advisor to the Crown.
Also has a linked advisor, and then advisor to the Crown is what's pulled by Rick. So startlingly similar setups here. Both to drop a Maester, and both are probably going to try to drop Dragon Lore and get some dragons going.
That's right.
Now these decks do run Balerion, but it's kind of a sideshow, I guess. The real money here is Drogon, Viserion, Rhaegal with Dany, so they don't kneel. Also, the Myrni's Fighting Pit to stand these dragons up. Long Voyage just gave it the little bump that it needed, the draw that it needed to go.
Yeah.
And it's going now.
Also, one of the more critical cards that I found is Meereen, I think, and it allows you to essentially make a dragon character immune, and then you get to draw cards, I think, based off the number of dragons in the challenge.
The number of dragons, yeah. So there's all these little, basically little locations that just kind of trickled out of the past few packs and cycles, and man, it has just slowly all coalesced into this build, and it's doing well. So
yeah.
Rick drops a hatchling there.
And this is a great deck for the Long Voyage, I gotta say, just because there were, and this is something a lot of Dragon players have said, there are a lot of auto-includes for these kinds of decks, and that means that when you're looking to build it, you're automatically right up there, you're around 60 very quickly, so it doesn't give you a lot of wiggle room. But now that you can have a deck that has built-in draw, and you can run all your auto-includes plus some extras to try to mix things up and get all your tricks and answers to the other decks in there. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, it does really good things. I'm kind of curious. I'm not terribly familiar. That's a hatchling, but
yep,
it looks like it's a Shadow's Crest, which is confusing to me.
Yeesh. I don't know how it got there.
And I think there's
no. He had a card in Shadows, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay. How did he do that?
My mistake. In setup.
Oh, right.
We missed setup,
okay,
so
there we go. Yeah.
That's how it got there.
That's what I didn't know. That's what I didn't know.
But that's how I got there. Most likely, unless we're just going crazy.
And what's Rick gonna do? Man, what a mirror match. This is just gonna be a slugfest. We know it right off the bat.
Yeah, it's hard to tell what you do as a player in this kind of game, because not only are you running a similar deck as your opponent, and you know this, but you are also playing against the person who you worked with to build your deck and their deck together. So it gives you all sorts of opportunities to overanalyze the situation and say, oh man, is he going to expect me to do this? Is he going to expect me to expect him to do this? And all this kind of a thing. It can just get really silly really quick, and it was definitely a lot of fun to watch. I think during this round of top 8, I was TOing, but I spent most of my time hovering around this game.
And dropping Dany.
With a dupe.
With a dupe. That's going to be a good start for Rick here.
Yep.
But also you have to think, Balerion's not going to work, really. Maybe kneel a Dany and maybe a Maester or something, but it's not going to work, like it does in reality against other decks. It's also, these pot decks are very heavily tailored to take on non-uniques.
That's right.
And whenever you're running against a deck that does the same thing, plays a bunch of unique dragons, not going to be as effective on the plot side of things either. So they're both kind of at a disadvantage, but that equals itself out for sure.
Yeah. Seeing Dany this early, though, for Rick was a big moment. When I saw that, I was like, man, is that going to be game? Is that the deciding factor? And we'll see, but it's such a big deal to have Dany out this early in this kind of a deck.
All right, so we have Linked Advisor coming on with a Dragon Lore, and Rick's next any phase action that he gets a chance to take is to ambush in the Dragon Thief.
Really smart.
Huge play there.
Really smart.
That is a massive play. It's going to shut Matt down this early turn, probably planning all over that Dragon Lore. And that is just about as good as Rick could hope for here in the open.
Yeah, Dragon Thief, throughout the day even at Regionals, was one of the MVPs of this deck. It routinely seemed to show up right when it was needed, discarding the most annoying attachment possible, and it was really critical, just as we saw as
Absolutely.
well.
And that kind of attachment removal, you're running ambush anyway, and you've got the influence for it. You got the attachment removal aspect of the deck. You know, that can put a halt to a lot of things. Put a halt to Barrack, put a halt to pretty much any of those build and X.
Yeah.
You know, the Red Viper stuff that's going around.
And a lot of these Lannister PBJ decks are build a Cersei or build a Littlefinger or something like that, so it can discard that, what is it, Longclaw that everybody's throwing around these days as well.
It seems like everyone's throwing. Even I was throwing around Longclaw.
What? You were throwing a Longclaw? What?
How'd you guys get a hold of that?
I don't know.
The Iron Bryce.
They probably killed a crow.
Who is it? Do we know who? Is it Jon?
Jon Snow, yeah. He is the carrier of Longclaw.
So he must have lost it at sea.
Yeah. He's not taking many boats places, though. Not anymore.
This is a nice little... Matt's got to be thinking, man, that could not have gone worse for me.
Yeah.
Right here in the open.
That just puts you automatically off tempo on the defensive, because Balerion was going to be excellent. It's going to kneel Denarius, going to kneel that Maester, and then all he has is that nice little weenie dragon. But instead, that is what?
White hatchling.
That's a white hatchling?
Another little weenie dragon. Looks white.
Yeah. It's white for sure.
And this is what the decks can do. You know,
could have been bone or taupe.
These tiny little hatchlings are great. And let's not forget they're unique as well. So a lot of synergy with uniques, a lot of synergy with these dragon locations. Not all about the big guys on these decks.
That's right.
You know, they can just spit out dragons until you get the big ones. They attach as duplicates, and then you're pretty much Valor immune in a sense. So beware. These dragon decks can really come out. And, you know, the ultimate failing of dragon decks in the past is if you shut down the dragons, you get a Valor off or whatever, then they're kind of stuck on the top deck side of things, not really doing much. TLV has enough other things in it where you can still play the game, and you also are drawing 3 cards. Is
that Malisi or
Missandei?
Missandei, yeah. There it is.
Missandei coming in for Flea Bottom, obviously.
Combine Missandei plus Khaleesi there. That's what that was.
And it's an interesting battle now for the turning grounds. I think Matt probably trying to spit out as many uniques as he can so that he can get -3 on the turning grounds instead of -1, because that's probably going to shut out at least one challenge here.
Yeah. Turning that tourney grounds on is always one of the most annoying things. And I'll echo your comments about how good these dragon weenies are. They're pretty well costed. Their strength is generally under what you might want, but they always have a fairly decent amount of icons, and most importantly, keywords. They're rocking deadly and stealth just every time. It's really, really annoying.
Yeah, lots of stealth is the big thing. It's like, you know, and obviously stealth here symbolizes that you didn't see them coming.
Yeah.
Because they're not sneaking around. But that really puts a clamp down on a lot of decks that kind of rely on stealthing past stuff. You know, my Raider deck, for one, I was really scared of this deck, and I didn't do great against it a lot of the time because I couldn't stealth through it. A lot of other things that rely on, you know, multiple challenge with stealth, even Cersei to a certain extent can't stealth past this stuff.
And there's a red keep coming out of Shadows, giving Matt some much-needed influence, and these decks are just going to be ambushing stuff left and right. It's bananas.
Matt wins the ambush game here for sure. He's got 3 up, but Rick knows that's not enough to play a 4-cost dragon, so unless there's some shenanigans going on, it's not going to be a big issue.
Yeah, I see no room for shenanigans just yet.
But, you know, truly, Matt is looking at a 2-clan plot here to Rick's 1, so he's going to have to be careful.
That's right.
Danny's going to have a big impact on this first turn, I think, allowing that Black Hatchling to get perhaps a free challenge, and you're going to try to probably kneel down Matt's 2-claimers so that, you know, you're not worried terribly much. He's going to Nightmare something, maybe the Red Keep. It was kind of a hoverer there.
Yes.
And then he's going to give that dragon. I wish I knew what that was. Everybody.
It looks like Karth, but I'm not sure at all.
I believe it's Karth. Yeah, it looks like Karth. And I believe that gives an intrigue challenge or an intrigue icon and can't immune to event. It's one of those other weird things, I believe.
Yeah, I don't think I think Marine, the one next to Karth, is the immune to
triggered effects.
Yeah, and I've only played the Dragon deck. I played Rick's Dragon deck once and Matt's Dragon deck once, so sadly I'm not as knowledgeable on all of the Dragon cards because there's a lot. Like we were talking about,
keep track of all these locations.
There's a lot of them, and they're all like proper noun here, proper noun there.
And they do very similar things.
Yeah.
So I if you're looking at running a deck like this, you know, you'll know.
Just search dragons.
Search dragon in the deck builder.
In the text box. That's what you want.
So we've got the Matt open hand thigh challenge. That was a. Looks like Rick has declared the challenge here, so Matt's gonna go ahead and probably -3 that hatchling, I imagine.
Yes, which is a smart move. Now I can never remember, is the pit gonna give it minus strength for the challenge or the phase?
-3 for the phase.
What?
Yeah,
that is nuts. That is absolutely bananas.
It is bananas.
I don't know what to say to that. That's crazy. Woo. So.
And Marine, the turning grounds only triggers when a character is null, or when a character declares an attack. Almost certain of it. So I think we can assume that hatchling was coming in. I wish those cards would be pushed forward just a little bit more.
Just a smidge.
Dragon Thief coming in for what I can only assume is an intrigue challenge.
That's right.
2 strength. I don't think that hatchling is going to bother. This is a -3.
Yes. Not at all. But will Matt defend it? How much does he want to defend a 1-claim challenge or get his own 2-claim off? Because he only has so many icons left to go around.
Yeah.
But what's in his hand? So this is one of my favorite things about Game of Thrones is weighing this decision.
Yeah.
Like,
you got to know when to attack and when to defend.
Yep.
Truly.
Yep. And then also know the value of your own cards and, you know, how important are these to me and how important is what he might have in his hand to him.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Man, losing that dragon lore.
Enough cannot be said about that. It's such a big deal.
It's got to be a Balerion in there. It has to be.
Can you imagine Matt's board now with everything you see plus Balerion?
Yeah.
It's insane. It's absolutely insane. It might not have even been Balerion. It could have been just some other...
Oh, it was a military challenge.
Big baddie. Oh, sweet.
So my assumption is he opened with the Intrigue challenge with the Hatchling, got Marine, turning ground, then led with the Dragon Thief on the 2 strength. And Matt claiming Missandei, which is very interesting.
Yeah.
Usually you would never see a Targaryen player do this. But obviously he's got the Red Keep, he's got the fiefdoms, he feels like he has 4 influence for when he needs it. And he's really going to be able to play 1 dragon ever. So
yeah.
And given the board, he wants 3 challenges here.
And yeah, exactly. Depending on what was in my hand and how the board was shaping up, I would go and take every last drop of 2-claim challenges that I can while I still can.
Yeah, for sure. This is a pretty good little 2-claim military he's got in response.
Yeah. It's going to be juicy.
The challenges phase has really actually worked out for Matt pretty favorably here.
Yeah, I would say so. That marshalling was none too kind, but he bounced back pretty nicely. The one thing
can't say enough about Turning Grounds.
Yeah, the one thing that Rick is still yet to really play is his Marine. He hasn't used its ability yet, and that can be a really big deal.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that was a what challenge?
Looks like a power challenge.
Okay. Would have had to have been, I suppose.
1 for unopposed, 1 for a noun.
That's right.
And you got to do that challenge because you're not going to be able to defend. It's kind of weird, do you give him power because now it's 2-claim power challenge. He's going to get 2 power, but you can't defend the intrigue against that linked advisor. So it's kind of a toss up. I think I probably wouldn't have made the challenge. Try to slow Matt down here.
Yep. So coming in for 3 strength.
It's an intrigue challenge, looks like, to me.
Yes, I would think that's smart. Rick is doing his defensive shuffling while he assesses what he's going to do about it, if anything. I don't know if he has any options unless they're in his hand.
That Turning Grounds was the card of that turn right there.
Yeah, it was. It was excellent. So 2 cards here.
Intrigue. Let's see what we get here.
Boom. So we got a
hatchling and a Red Keep, looks like.
Yep, looked like.
So that's not terrible. Not a terrible loss for Rick. He probably could use that influence.
Yeah. He'll want that influence later in the game. Once they get that location set up going, they're just going to start popping dragons out. Who cares about gold?
Claiming 1 for unopposed. And moving on. I think we'll probably see a military challenge here next. And he's going all in on the military. Okay.
Because he needs to, most likely.
I don't know. He probably there are shenanigans. They kind of know each other's shenanigans in this deck. I would have pushed for the power challenge here for sure.
Yeah, that is true. I keep forgetting it's 2 claim. It's 2 claim. It's such a big deal.
I mean, you got a 0 strength dragon here. It's like, well, who's going to defend?
Yeah.
What can he ambush in? I don't know. Matt could have maybe got the power challenge here.
Mm-hmm. It is altogether possible. But...
Claim 2.
Dose.
Claim 2.
One more. One more. Can you imagine? I don't know if they might have overlooked a claim 2, but...
I don't think they ever looked at it. I think Rick
It's
is
just
probably trying to
thinking.
make that decision.
Yeah.
He's got the decision-making hands. Yeah,
There it is.
goes. Hard decision.
Bam. That is a hard decision. Hopefully he's still waiting for that Dragon Lore to show itself and he can get his own Balerion out. Unless, of course, the Dragon Thief is ambushed. And you have to discard your Dragon Lore.
All right, so going back, looks like, was it a push for Dom? Yeah.
Looks like. The most exciting
And-
phase of the game, standing.
Matt has really actually come out of this looking quite good.
Yeah, he stabilized nicely. That 2 claim military
Two-claim
is...
military was a big
Woo!
deal there.
It's a mini Valor is what that is. It's nuts.
Rick's going to have to make use of this Danny, like, right now.
Yes. He
He
needs some
to see
dragons,
right? And
now.
this is the problem with Long Voyage is ultimately, even at 3 ofs, sometimes you just won't see. You should see at least one dragon, at least have one in his hand.
So it looks like Matt is spending some winter stores, and then Men of Honor?
It's the whatever one gives him all 3 icons and +1 strength for the first challenge.
Yeah, I
I
think
think
that's
it's
Honor.
honor or duty or.
It's not
yeah.
Pride. It's either Honor or Duty.
I think duty is the. I think honor is the renown one. I think this is duty.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Honor seems like renown, right?
Yeah.
Duty seems like you get icons.
I'll
and
go with
strength,
that.
Yeah.
Good, nice reasoning there. But yeah, Matt definitely going for another Dragon
He
Lore.
knows he's got Balerion. It's interesting to give Rick an attachment here. I mean, sometimes, you're banking on you having a better dragon than he does, which
right.
is a fair. It's a fair
But
assessment.
what's crazy though is that Matt played Spending the Winter Stores. Rick has a Maester already in play, as does Matt. But if Rick is going first, then he gets to bring his Balerion out, kneel Matt's Maester, which means his Dragon Lore is useless for a turn.
Could
Unless he
be,
gets
yeah.
another one out.
Yeah.
So the hands will tell, but it's an interesting play. Interesting play. I guess
think-
you kind of have to go for it if you just want it either now or later. But then, you have intrigue challenges. Will it get discarded? All this kind of stuff.
Yeah. I think Matt's banking on no Balerion here for Rick.
Yeah, or you just play it knowing that there's nothing you can do this turn. But next turn, I'll be back.
Yeah. And let's see. Looks like it didn't look like a terribly good draw there for Rick.
Did you see what he got?
I saw at least one event, which is a lot of times is really just not what you're wanting to see right now.
Yeah.
Temple of the Graces coming out. Economy card. I imagine he got that on this draw. So he drew, it looks like a Temple of the Graces and an event of some kind.
Oh, wow. Need some characters in the worst way.
Yeah, I definitely need some dragons here. Especially after dropping that plot.
Yeah. Don't want to waste it. I would imagine he played it for
yeah.
that reason. He's got to
I
have
can
him in
imagine he
hand.
doesn't have dragons and he played it. That's kind of a risky I'll draw into dragon maybe play. And 2 Targaryens battling it out. We haven't seen dragons on the board in a while, have we?
No. I mean, they were big for a while, maybe about a year ago. I know Spencer, who's one of the local Tulsa guys, was doing a pre-TLV dragon deck, and it was decent, but it suffered generally from the same problems that you always see with the dragon decks, and that is it doesn't have the draw. You get these great characters out, but if you don't really just kind of rush it out, get Balerion and all your nice little combos out ASAP, then it's just going to pitter out and somebody's going to value you out of business and all that kind of stuff. So it's vulnerable pre-TLV for sure.
We've seen Targ Maesters kind of bouncing Balerion around and doing the combo-y stuff. We haven't seen a real, I guess, true dragon aggro deck, where it's just like dragons are going to come out and stay on the board and attack a bunch. So drops the fiefdoms. Matt's going to respond with a Rhaegal play here. Is that Rhaegal?
I believe so.
It came right to my mouth when I said it.
I'm gonna trust you because I have a confession to make. I know there's 3 of them, but every time they come out, I have
to read them.
I have to read them. It's like, is that the power claim, the location kill, or the character kill one?
Yeah, that's pretty much all I need to know.
Yeah,
I'm not interested in what they look like, Matt. I want to know what they do. Oh, that's the green one. No, I don't care about that.
Green for power.
So the preemptive ambush, it's kind of like, in case you had shenanigans, like maybe a weird confession for 3 influence or something, I'm going to get the dragon out now.
That's right.
Putting something in the shadows here. This looks like this is just a really bad draw for Rick on the rebound here.
So now what is he going to do? He needs dragons, and now...
Well, Matt is really going to be hurting on a Valor here if he doesn't get some dupes or a strong Belwas out.
Yeah, saves actually do become quite critical in these dragon decks because you're
very, very critical,
very dependent on all these unique dragons, and if they bite the big one too soon, then it's going to cripple a lot of your potential.
Rick's got a lot to decide on. He's looks like it's a rules question here.
Yes, I can't remember what he was asking me there. I think it had something to do with a Shadows Dragon card.
Probably attaching his duplicate or something weird.
It was something about, I think, if I remember right, circumventing the Shadows mechanic to bring it into play, and I think he could. He had something going on that was legal. Legal, unless I was just wrong. You know, that's happened. That actually did happen.
Man, you know what?
There's so many weird rules going on.
In Thrones, you are so allowed to be wrong. That's Viserion.
There it is.
I know these dragons. I know them so well.
That came right out.
Yeah,
just
I know that's Viserion.
Viserion.
I know it.
That's the whitish looking one, right?
If anyone's listening wants to put money on that being Viserion.
But what does it do, Steven?
It's actually not big enough for us. Viserion is the location kill one.
Ah.
Boom.
Wow, I'm learning things. Now that I'm hearing you say it, I probably won't forget it now.
Dragon lore on the linked advisor.
There it is.
And if Matt throws another dragon here, this is going to be a huge turn for him.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of dragons.
Flea bottom. Put in the Belwas. Oh
Smart.
my gosh.
Really slick play right there.
This is just this is everything Matt wants right here happening. Yep. And Rick is on the exact opposite end of the spectrum here.
Oh, Barry.
Oh man, this is horrible for Rick. Just bad.
There go all of his dragon locations, because he had way more of them. That was going to make a big difference, but getting Danny down and leaving just one pitiful dragon standing on Rick's side of the board. Whew.
Yeah, throwing some influence out here. Wow.
That is a huge turn of events. But note to self and to all, there are no duplicates on Matt's side of the board here.
He has the Belwas, though.
That's true.
He's got, I think, 2 saves at least.
Mm-hmm. But is he going to save now and then die for Valor later? It's going to be...
No. He'll wait for the Valor on Belwas for sure.
Yeah.
He'll kill hatchlings. He may even kill the linked advisor.
Yep. Can you imagine if he kills Belwas? That'd be hilarious.
He will be saving... he'll be saving Rhaegal and Balerion.
Yeah, let those weenie dragons die.
No doubt.
Let them go. And old Syrio, he's got to be feeling a little bit overwhelmed here, you know... Dancing instructor with a wooden sword.
He didn't. Yeah, didn't sign up for dragon jousting. So Viserion has the intrigue icon right now due to Rick's plot. He's also got +1 strength, so 5 strength coming in. Balerion's going to shut down any challenge you want to make. Matt's got more.
Oh, incinerate. Oh, that is just the worst.
Can't be saved.
That is the worst.
Man. This is money for Matt. This is just
lose that renown and lose one of the most pivotal characters in any good dragon deck.
Matt had a great day.
Yeah, he was drawing all of his cards.
He was just destined.
It was his destiny.
Black Hatchling comes out here.
I will say that I am a little intrigued at Rick pulling Syrio out of Shadows, just because I'm looking at the board. I'm not sure what his MO is, unless he's just going to go all in on this military challenge to try to get Syrio back into Shadows. It's going to be interesting. I'm not quite sure how that'll pan out. Because Matt has a lot of strength ready to go. And he has stealth on one of his dragons for show, which means it can't be stealth.
There's just some weird stuff going on here. I'm not good at this. Because Sirio, you know, in my brain, Sirio comes out of shadows at the start of marshalling, yeah, or the start of challenges.
Challenges generally, yeah.
Where'd that black hatchling come from?
Can't remember. Can't remember. There's so many cards on the table.
There's something he just played it. It's weird. He just brought it out. It's like everyone who knows that card is probably like, "Hey, you idiot! This is why."
Did he ambush it?
Bring it out. I think I was
influenced. I don't know.
Where'd it come from?
Yeah, I don't know.
Where'd it come from?
I bet Rick or Matt know.
Yeah,
and they're probably
know right now.
probably going to say something either in the comments of this video or on the site. Just let us know.
We can't keep up with 85 cards, guys. Come on.
85 cards each.
We struggle with 60, and they all look the same. They're just lizards in the sky.
Lizards with wings. Oh, so okay. Here comes that military challenge. He's not blocking it.
Not going to defend.
Wait.
No, it was intrigue. Yeah, because the Men of Duty or Men of Pride.
Oh, that's right. They gain all the icons. That's why he brought it out.
Sneaks in on an intrigue challenge. Then
That's
goes
why
back
he brought
in,
it out.
yeah.
Okay, makes more sense now.
It's like, hey.
Rick, I understand if you're listening, which you probably are at some point in the future.
Looks like military challenge.
Militaire. Because the first challenge is over. They're back to standard icon spread.
Yeah. I think it's a 6 strength. Can't really stealth anything.
No. You could stealth Balerion. He only has Deadly.
That's right.
And Renam.
Haha, joke's on you. Flying under you.
He's just so big. Gotcha.
What's the military challenge really getting you here?
I don't know. Because were it me, now that Danny's dead, I'm Valoring hardcore next turn.
Yeah, I think I would have claimed the power here.
Even with...
He may be. I mean,
who knows?
Maybe.
Yeah, we'll see. Wait and see.
He can certainly win that challenge, so maybe he is.
And he can at least oppose it as well. But he hasn't even declared a defender yet, so we'll see.
Yeah, it is power challenge. Good job.
Unopposed.
Good job, Rick.
Unopposed.
Unopposed power. And Viserion kills a location. So Rick's going to get some power. That's good. That's slowing. He's going to slow Matt down because you want to try to play to the Valor here.
Yep.
Man, he's got to hope for like a Nightmares or something on Belwas or, you know, some way to deal with him.
Yeah.
Intrigue challenge to bring Rick's hand to 1 card. And it's a Dragon Lore. God.
That is not good. It was his last best hope, at least for the next turn. Or in any turn after that he had more dragons. Dragon Lore is so crazy every time I think about it. It's like, wow,
yeah,
you can keep using that over and over. You don't even have to discard it or anything. What?
And we got the Rhaegal coming in.
I would assume a military challenge, but who knows? It was... Wait for it. It was a military. Just
Unopposed,
1 power for unopposed.
Yeah. And he's going to claim power. That is Rhaegal. Boom! Nailed it.
Dude, you're on point with your dragons. You've been studying.
Yeah, I had to get to the library and study up before regionals.
Well, then again, you also played them.
I played him, yeah.
Yeah, so...
And I played Zach back in the day when he was all dragon happy.
Didn't we all?
I wonder how he feels now that, you know, his babies have been piloted to success by not him.
Well, it's like he got on the first boat that crashed into the iceberg and sank, and then now everybody's on this new boat that's got the anti-iceberg technology.
So Balerion coming in here with a power challenge, big swing here, getting renown as well as unopposed, as well as a power off the house. So that's a mass about halfway there.
That's right.
It's gonna take one more turn. And we're going to see a Valor here. I mean, I think you have to.
Yeah, I would. Woo!
Man.
That's just too much to contend with.
There's no way that Rick has an answer to Belwas here either, sitting on 1 card, unless it's just Praise Be and Nightmares.
Yeah.
Talk about MVP card, by the way.
Yeah.
That card is ludicrous.
Rick didn't have Matt's top decking skills going on.
No.
Matt was just on point every time.
It.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think it's his shuffle. he's got his shuffle. He wants that. What is it he calls it? The statistical random or the.
I don't know. I haven't heard them use that expression actually.
He wants a proportional random or something like a consistent random.
A consistent random. There you go. Yeah, I have heard that now that you say it.
But random means sometimes you get screwed.
That's right. But the Targaryens are kind of used to that based off their family history. So, you know, maybe it's time to break out of that mold and start, you know, messing with other people's game.
This is a dream board.
It is.
For
let's
Mr.
see how Valor treats it. It's got to be a Valor. And it's
Mad
not.
Kings, no.
Woo-wee.
So he did play the outwit. So at least
he
Rick
was
knows
expecting
he got the
it.
outwit.
So Rick outthought Matt, outwitted.
Is he going to cancel the Mad Kings, though, is the question? Because he could still outwit the Mad Kings.
It's kind of a trump. I wouldn't mind too much. He's got Balerion out. He should have the economy with ambush and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of small potatoes. I'd rather keep that Maester up, but he's going for it anyway.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Keep the Dragon Lore out just in case some weird thing happens.
Yep.
Playing a dragon later on.
But that is interesting things to think about for Matt, knowing that he more or less has just been told, you have one more turn, and then Valor will be here.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's in an 8 power with Rhaegal out. He will win this turn if Rick cannot defend some challenges here.
That's true. He does have a lot of dragons. That is a lot of dragons.
He could potentially have had a lot more power, too.
Mm-hmm.
If, it's kind of interesting. So, this gets weird. Because if Matt had swung with, Rhaegal, the Hatchlings, and Balerion, he would have had a lot of power on those dragons from Rhaegal's ability. But he didn't, and I think he thought that maybe, the little ones were going to the Valor or something, but then he played Outwit, so he could have prevented it. Mm-hmm. So maybe he should have swung with all those dragons just to get the power last time.
That's true.
I don't know.
That's a good point.
There's a lot to consider.
So now moving on, or he just wanted it for dominance. Who knows? Who knows?
And Rick's going back into shadows. When you're, even top deck in 3 cards against another deck that's drawn and top deck in 3 cards, it doesn't really help you much at all. Now, if you're top in 3 versus there 2, and this is the beauty of the Long Voyage, you're seeing 3 cards there too, and all statistics aside, for the long-term game, like that immediate turn, that matters.
Yeah, very true.
Significantly. Carrion Bird.
Excellent fodder. Good keyword with stealth. That can be very handy because guess what? It's weird. Carrion Bird can totally stealth out Balerion. Doesn't quite make sense, but it happens.
He's a low flyer.
He's a low flyer. Hugging the ground, coming in under the radar.
All right, another fiefdom's coming out. You see this deck, how these decks build economy just ludicrous way.
Boom.
Looks like a fighting pit, I think. I recognize that art.
Yeah, I think you're correct. What do we got?
We've got
a dupe?
An attachment on little white hatchling there. Little duperston. Little dupers.
And Matt has 1 card left. He's holding it like he has 1 card.
Yeah, and he's got some gold. He's, I think he's got it this turn. I don't see how he doesn't. And it's a handmaiden.
Good fodder, if nothing else.
Yeah.
Good chump block.
Man, the game is so fast these days.
The thing that is really bad for Rick right now is he doesn't have any intrigue icons, which means Matt has at least 1 more extra for an unopposed challenge, which is just scary, scary, scary. So that can put him up to 9, and then if he can get another 6 between Renown and then was the dragon with powers,
Rhaegal.
Rhaegal's ability, then it can get crazy, absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I don't see how Matt doesn't win it this turn.
Yeah, I think you're correct the more I'm looking at it here. And I'm thinking Rick is also aware of that. Because Rick made this deck, he knows it very well. He's got to be thinking, what could I possibly do to turn this off?
Even if he doesn't win it this turn, the Valor doesn't help.
Yeah, it doesn't help.
It helps, but it doesn't solve the issue.
Yeah, all those problems will still be there because Belwas is in play. It's crazy. It's
at least Viserion
crazy.
gets a save now.
It's true.
So it'd be Viserion versus Rhaegal and Balerion, which is just
not good.
We know how Dragon High School goes these days. That's not what you want to come up against in the Dragon Council election, as it were, which is basically just breathing fire at each other, from what I understand, at least.
Yeah, it's hard to count ballots because they all just kind of get incinerated.
Yeah, it's just they just end up fighting.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if you're going to be fighting, Balerion and Rhaegal would be my pick over Viserion. He seems like a bit more of a sleek, kind of agile, smooth-talking dragon. Balerion is just, he's the guy. He's the linebacker.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
He's big. He has renown, which means everybody knows him.
And that Rhaegal is like the most popular dragon in the council. He claims power all the time.
It's true. But
he's the cool kid.
At the end of the day, no matter what the personality breakdown is for all these dragons, it's still a dragon fight. And if we know anything about dragon fights, it's just a cat fight on steroids.
Yeah, just fire and in the sky.
Yeah, the amount of noise they're going to make is just unbelievable.
And if you've ever seen lizards fight as well.
Oh, yeah, kimono dragons and stuff.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Probably a lot faster than that, though.
Yeah, and in the sky, it's crazy. No one's safe.
Less gnawy.
Yeah.
Looks like the carrion bird's coming in with Viserion on the military challenge, which, again, isn't going to do much. I wish this was a power challenge, but then again, you can't win it.
You can't win it.
You can't win anything here.
No. You just don't have what you need where you need it right now. And
I think Matt lets this this military challenge happen and just claims a handmaiden or something.
Yep. I totally would. Let the fodder occur because it doesn't really matter as far as I can tell.
And I think Rick has a head that's more than happy to concede. He usually won't concede like
proper. Yeah.
Probably he won't say, we're done, but he'll be like, okay, I have lost this game. I'm going to speed it up so that you can win.
Yeah, you can go to the bathroom, get a snack.
Yeah.
He's very considerate.
Looks like he's going to mirror in there, I think. He says, yeah, let me draw some cards.
Yeah, why not? And I think the pit that Matt has over there is the one that stands dragons, if I'm not mistaken.
And he uses a Belwas save. I think that's a mistake.
Yeah.
Here. I mean, ultimately...
Not really, but he has so much fodder.
I get it. It probably won't matter, but he's going to stand with the fighting pit.
Maybe he just knows that he has enough out that he wants to have that handmaiden do an intrigue challenge, get it unopposed, and still have the dragon with the intrigue icon come in with the other one to get more power. Just to totally...
What's he at? 6, 7, 8 power. Let's see, if all the dragons go in, that's 9, 10, 11, 12
plus renown,
so that's 13
and then
for any challenge.
I think he can use that pit, as I was just trying to say, to stand a dragon. So he'll stand Balerion back up and then get another one for renown and then maybe an unopposed.
The power challenge, I think this is a rough one.
Yes, it certainly is.
True Queen's Loyalist, not exactly, or True Queen's Harbinger, not exactly what you want to see. And a power challenge, letting go unopposed. Man, I don't know about that.
Maybe he's done the math in his head, and he knows that, hey, I can drop down to 7 and still get up to 15.
Well, now he does get 2 unopposed. He got the military and the intrigue unopposed.
Yep.
So.
Yep. So who knows? That's a smart player. He's probably gotten that all figured out already.
And I don't think that was Karth. We said it may have been Karth earlier. I think that's the fighting pit, man. Because I think Matt's got one.
It has a short name, though.
I know. And it's got the flag.
Yeah. I think it's still Karth. I'm going to maintain that. Viewers, vindicate me.
What a shame to have Jamie sleeves on a dragon deck, too.
He actually got some grief throughout the day about that.
Maybe Jamie's, like, riding him. Wouldn't that be terrifying?
Oh, man. And for those of you watching the show, were you also as impressed at the spoiler alert?
No spoilers,
I can't do it. Dang.
Were you impressed at the recent occurrences in episode 3?
Episode 3 of the 3rd season.
How about that?
Involving Jamie. I think we all know what we're talking about.
How about those Boltons?
How about those Boltons? Could
you even run a Bolton deck at this point?
No. They are just the scum of the earth, man. I just dislike them so much. They make the Lannisters look super classy and fair.
Everyone talks about Grey. They're standing. There you go, standing up with the fighting pit there.
There it is.
I think Karth maybe stands the dragon after it wins a challenge.
That's what it is. Excellent.
See, the powers of deduction.
But at least you think it's Karth now.
I think it is Karth. I'm with you on that. I'll go all in on that. So again, now Matt's got to be thinking, why did I let that go unopposed?
Yeah, it's curious.
Okay, here comes the Rhaegal play.
I'm assuming this will be a power challenge.
I'm assuming that.
Because he's putting in all the bananas.
All bananas in.
Because he should be able to...
No, he's got a soul military icon there. That's a military challenge.
Okay, yeah, you're correct. You are right. I stand corrected. And it will be opposed because Rick knows his business. No free power for you, Matt. But it won't matter to Jesus.
I don't think so.
No. Okay, so there's Claim. Nice piece of fodder.
1 to all dragons and 1 for renown.
That's right. So, pointing at the ability, I am now triggering, preparing the power sack. 1 for renown. Oh, no. First the ability. Everybody's getting a power. And then...
Now we're going to claim renown.
Now we're going to claim renown. Everybody gets a power.
How about dragons?
How about them?
Let's stand Balerion up.
Let's stand him. So now he is in a very interesting position because he can do this power challenge.
Well, look at this. Unopposed intrigue gets a power, and then a power challenge, even if it's opposed, doesn't matter. Yeah. So
Because then he'll still have it for dominance by the
this
looks
is
of
it
it.
for sure.
Yep.
And then coming on the power.
Boom, opposed, but one off
Renown
house,
and
one
one off
for
house.
Renown. That's all she wrote. Preparing it. Anything before I start winning the game?
And Rick says, wait.
There's more.
Yes. You did win.
And that's it.
Congrats.
Two going
So
on the
there you
house
go.
card.
Now, important to note, man, I think both these decks, the only TLV Dragon decks in the tournament, get to the top 8. Nuts. I think they did play in the prelims, too, didn't they?
They did.
Which is nuts.
Wait, did they? I can't remember. I can't remember.
I don't know.
Don't hold me to that. I'm not going to say yes to
But
that.
they both went through different decks,
Mm-hmm.
great decks here at the regional. They both proved themselves. This TLV Dragon thing is a serious thing.
Yep.
So we'll follow Matt as he continues on to the top 4. And thank you guys for watching. Welcome to the Long Voyage.
Yeah,
It's a new phase of the game, for sure.
And thanks to Rick for bringing this deck to our attention. He was the
Excellent deck
originator, and it's definitely great. So kudos to him.
If you'd like to support what we're doing here at TeamCovenant.com, which is us, we are Team Covenant. I guess.
Covenant, guys.
There's more of us, but we're some of it. TeamCovenant.com/store. We've got house packs, which are really cool for just choosing and getting the cards for the house that you want. Also have subscriptions to Game of Thrones chapter packs, which is a big deal, very cool, and a lot of people love that service. So if you're looking for something like that, take a look.
Essentially, it's everything you need to gear up for the regional near you. So go ahead and get into fighting shape.
Get into fighting shape, and of course, leave us any comments on this YouTube video over on the site. We usually post the videos up too. You can leave comments there. And you know what? You can even just send us an email, support@teamcovenant.com. Tell us about everything that you think.
Tell us how wrong we were, how right we were, whose voice you like better. The list goes on.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching the game.
Take care.